What's up, everybody? I'm Selna Kim, America's face of dating, and today we're going to be talking about the darkest manipulation tactics that women use to control you. And I forget honestly how many I put on here. I guess we'll find out in a second, but all I remember is the last half of these are pretty damn good. And honestly, the first half are bangers as well. But something that you got to know about this, and this is a clear warning for you guys, is that most of you have been through these probably already. You might not have known it until you watch this video. You might be like, holy shit, I just went through that, or I've been there through that before and I didn't even know it. A lot of you guys are gonna have breakthroughs watching this video, or you will, once you get into the dating world, you will experience these. And so, let's not waste your time. Let's jump right into number one here, and this is one of the craziest ones. So, number one, beauty plus false interest is a deadly combination that women use for manipulating a man. And what's funny about this is that men, like women are all the time are just like, oh, men only want one thing and men are just pigs and they just like sleep with you and leave you. When according to just the law of balance, there has to be another side to this. There has to be a cause. There has to be an equal or opposite reaction, right? So just according to the law of duality and the law of balance, women are honestly very, very good at manipulating men. And so it's not always just the men being pigs and XYZ. A lot of the times women have manipulated men into acting this way, which is quite surprising to me. And I don't want to put all my problems on women, right? I'm not the red pill guys, the red pill geeks that freak out about, every problem is on women. A lot of this is men too, right? We gotta, hold each other accountable here, right? But you see a lot of women where they're very good at manipulating. I'm gonna give you some great examples of that, but beauty and false interest is just, it is a deadly combination for manipulation. This is how women run the world right here, is this right here. Like, this is absolutely deadly. This doesn't work for ugly girls, obviously, right? Only hot girls can do this, and it's ridiculous how well it works. Women literally will run the world if they know how to do this. And that's sad to me, so we can't let any women watch this video, right? But a client in my program, before joining, he spent $50,000 to furnish an entire girl's apartment because of this one manipulation tactic alone. They will simply be drop dead gorgeous and then act interested in you to get things from you, right? I was in Mexico 2 weeks ago, I'll tell you this story, with a bunch of high-end entrepreneurs for a mastermind event. Multi-six-figure and some seven-figure per year earners. And yeah, it got, I got rid of my Rolex. I put a note here, I got rid of my Rolex because I was like, you know what, like I want to hit some bigger goals in my entrepreneurship journey in my business with coaching clients about dating. And so I actually got rid of my Rolex and got a different watch. So I want to get the Rolex again when I actually hit some major goals. I want to get a different one. So that was sad to let go of, but hey, you know what we had to do? Is a beautiful Batman Rolex, right? They're fucking rare as fuck. They're on hold for like 2 years, but I was like, you know what? I want to get rid of it. I'll get something new, right? Live in abundance here. But anyways, we go to the club, and there was 3 of these girls at the club, master manipulators, and yeah, things got bad pretty quickly, right? Like I even warned some of the group. I was like, hey, these are bottle girls, man. Like they literally will use you, and these were drop dead gorgeous chicks. Like everyone in the club noticed these girls as soon as they walked in, and of course, like at our table, like we're fucking like buying champagne and tequila like crazy, and so these girls end up coming over. Some of the guys in the group ended up falling for them a little bit. And falling for their beauty, and they're showing kind of signs of interest, and they tried to do it on me, and I was like, get away from me, I'm in a relationship. I was like, no thank you. And plus I know what these girls are, right? They're just master manipulators, right? And so they're literally at the table, and I was just like, guys, like don't fall for these girls, man. Like don't do it. They're not like they're not what you think they are. They're sirens, right? They're going to just lure you in only to like throw you off the ship and kill you. Like literally don't fall for these girls. But hey, you know what? They didn't want to listen to the pro, they didn't want to listen to the expert, and some of these guys fell for these girls, and they just keep buying bottles and bottles that night for these girls, man. And then at one point in the night, like they're trying to dance with these girls, and the girls wouldn't even dance with them. They'd just stand there because they're like, hey, we're not interested in you. We're just using you to get to what we want, which is just free drinks and free alcohol, maybe even money. I'm not sure if they gave him money. I don't think they gave him money. But then about halfway through the night, they ended up like going away from the table and then going to a different guy's table who looked like, he was having fun and buying alcohol. And they're like, we're just going to lily pad to his table. It was crazy, and that's just a very small example, unlike the person that spent $50,000 to furnish an entire girl's apartment. That's ridiculous, right? That's crazy. But girls will literally be beautiful, just hot as fuck, and then they'll show you false interest to get you to buy them shit. And it's just, I can't emphasize just how powerful this combination is. So that was my story about being in Mexico, and hey, they didn't want to listen to me, but what do I know, right? A lot about girls, sadly. Not sadly, actually, because, I'm never going to get manipulated by a woman just because I know how it works. But number 2 is crying, right? This is very calculated and great timing, right? So my ex cheated on me when I caught her literally in bed with my best friend. And when I knocked on the hotel room, right, like, so I tracked them down. I knew exactly where they're at because I put the location on her phone. She didn't know that I knew where she was at. She told me she was somewhere else, but I saw she was at a hotel. And I tracked them down, went to the room, knocked on the door, covered up the peephole. She answered the door. She's wrapped in the sheet. Like, I still remember the vision. It's like burned into my brain. Like, she was wrapped in this hotel bed sheet, and her nipples were like poking out of the bed sheet, and I could see it. She answered the door like with it wrapped around her, because she couldn't see through the peephole, right? I had it covered. And so, she answers the door, and she sees me. I see her, just get this image like burnt into my brain, and I start walking away. And then she starts crying and like chasing me in this fucking sheet, like out of the entire hotel. It was crazy, man. And why was she crying though? Like, why, right? Why she start crying is that most guys will comfort her and assure her that, we'll get through this. Like, you made a mistake, and I know it's not your fault, right? I was just a fucking savage. I was like, bitch, you just fucking like fucked my best friend. I didn't even say a word to her. I was just like, I'm done. Bye. And just started walking away. She started fucking crying because she thought that I was gonna be like, oh, it's okay. Like, we'll get through this, right? And women take advantage to a man naturally trying to comfort her because she's pretty, right? Like, oh, she's pretty, so maybe I'll get over this someday. So you know what? Like, it's okay. Like, you're beautiful, and I can't get other pussy, so we're gonna get through this together. And I was just like, you know what? Like, I would much rather be alone than be with a cheater any fucking day. I'd rather be alone for the rest of my life. If I had a choice between path A, being with a woman that was gonna cheat on me consistently, versus being alone for the rest of my life, I would probably choose being alone. Honestly, at the end of the day. Like, there's a famous quote that goes, I would rather be alone than in bad company, right? I would much rather be alone and just by myself, isolated, than be with someone who's gonna cheat on me like consistently every like couple of years for the rest of my life. Any fucking day. Like, I'll get a pocket pussy or something like that to deal with that. Like, it's not worth it. But number 3 is lying. It's just simply lying, right? Strippers do this all the fucking time, right? So there's a story about the one and only time I've been to a strip club. Like, my former stepdad, I think it's for like my 21st birthday. Like, he was like, we're gonna go to the strip club. We gotta go to the strip club. And I don't know why they were so fucking obsessed with going to the strip club. Like, I went there and I was like, this is absolutely disgusting. This is so gross, dude. Like, how many faces have been in her tits that night? You know what I mean? Like, this is disgusting, dude. And what's sad about strip clubs is like, you go, and like, there's literally dudes that go there like every night. Like, they're literally addicted to the strip club. That's so fucking sad to me. But we're sitting there, and like this, like the girls will come up and they'll do the fake interest, right? Like, I literally, the number 1 just described to you guys, like the fake interest thing. She comes up to me and she's like, you're the most attractive man that I've seen in here before. And you know what? Like, maybe she was telling the truth, because, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, damn, you're the most attractive motherfucker I've seen. I'm partially messing with you guys, but like, also the other side of me is like, hey, you know what? Like, you look good, bro. Like, I see you working on your muscles and everything. You know what I mean? Like, I see you tracking your macros and all that dumb shit, all that nerdy shit. But hey, you look good, bro. So, maybe she was telling the truth. You feel me? Like, maybe she was like, you are actually the sexiest guy, because there was some ugly ass guys in there, man. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm just gonna assume for the story that she was not telling the truth, and I'm just gonna assume that strippers lie, right? Like, I don't want to judge, right? But I'm just assuming that, like, maybe strippers lie to get more money from you, right? Maybe they do. And so maybe she was trying to be like, you're the most attractive guy that I've ever seen in here, to try to get me to pay her more money or whatever, to pay her money at all just to dance with her. And I was just like, dude, I was just counting. I was like looking at the clock. I was like, when are we going to go home, guys? When are we going to go home? And what's so fucked up about that story too, like my former stepdad, so my parents aren't married anymore, so like we don't really talk anymore, right? And he has a son-in-law, so he had a daughter, and his son-in-law was with us, that was literally married to his daughter. And my stepdad at the time was just like watching him like get danced on by like these hoes. And I was just like, how do you just like accept, like, how do you be a father and be like, I'm okay with that? Like, it was just weird, man. It was just fucking weird, dude. But, you know, it's not really a good segue into this, but these are some results from my program, by the way. From this week, like, my guys have been absolutely crushing it. So, like, just to like a segue to that is that if you guys do struggle with that and like you don't want to deal with strippers and you don't want to be on the dating apps, right? And like you actually want to learn natural, real attraction, like Raj and Ruben and Kevin, like, who are getting dates and getting phone numbers and consistently going out with their dream girl and being able to sustain that all the way to a relationship. Like, there's a link in the description below. Booking a call with me. We'll hop on a call and we'll get you going in my program. Right? A lot of you guys ask for the investment or the cost of my program. It's $3.5K. That's just a paid in full. But we also just partnered with a platform, by the way, that lets you break that up as well to like the littlest is like $120 per month to let you break it up to. I think they want $500 up front first, but after that it's $120 per month to break that up to. There's like $600 per month, like $300 per month. So it's like, if you guys like don't have 3.5K straight up, but you want to do the program, just message me and I'll send you that link privately, and you just click affirm, get approved, and boom, like, you're in the program. We'll get you on board literally in like 5 minutes. So if that's you and you guys want to take this stuff seriously, booking that call, or just message me on Instagram and just be like, hey dude, like, give me that link, I'll pay it right now. I love the guys that are bold as fuck and they're just like, dude, like, I'm ready to do this. So anyways, back to our regular scheduled programming here. So number 4, and I believe this is the last one. This is the last one, man, because I put the Puppeteer as number 4. So that is number 4. And a great example is Jack from my program. He had a girl who told him, I don't like guys who are mean. That's what she said. Because he was being smooth and saying all these playful responses, right? And it's just a test. But it could also be manipulation. So what do most guys do when she says this, right? The logical brain of a man kicks in, right? Logical brain kicks in. Be nice, right? That will win her. She told me what she wants, right? She told me what she wants. So now I will be nice because that's what she told me that she wants. And so if I do what she wants, then obviously I'm going to win her. Duh, right? That's logical man thinking. However, women don't base their attraction on logic. They aren't logical. They are emotional beings. So then you start being nice, right? And suddenly she goes cold. Like, why? Why does she go cold? It's because she sees now that you aren't rooted in who you are as a man, and it's easy to change you, right? Women tell you all the time they want a man, like, they can change, and they want to change a man, and Hollywood like makes you believe that if you're a man that can change and be nicer, then suddenly a woman's gonna fall for you, and you're just gonna live happily ever after and ride into the sunset, and it's gonna be that, and it's gonna be all good. Those were my beliefs growing up too. I watched a lot of Disney movies, right? Growing up, I'm sure. So I had that belief that was just gonna happen. Oh no, dude, there's a lot of problems that come with dating, especially if you're way too nice. And women want a rock, not a paper that folds easy. And then she just uses you for attention because, you know, now you're literally her little puppet. So when a girl tells you, I just want a nice guy, keep doing what you're doing, right? Be like, that guy over there in the club looks really fucking nice. Pick out like the ugliest guy in the club, right? Be like, let me go introduce you to him. And she's like, no, God, I want you. And then you guys start dancing together, and then boom. It's literally just easy peasy, just like that. And so those are 4 ways that girls will manipulate you. Very dark. And so make sure that you guys understand this and also know when it's happening to you. And make sure that you guys like, subscribe, and comment down below what you guys want to hear more about. And I'm Selna Kim, America's face of dating, and I'll see you next time.